This video is sponsored by Surfshark.
So many of you are concerned that this Ford Ranger that we've just acquired won't make it all the way to Lapland in Finland with us. And unfortunately, you may be right. And I'm going to explain why now. So the Ford Ranger, this is a 2018 model, Euro 6, and it's a 4x4 wild track, 3.2 engine, is a very, very, very good camper truck. We've had a lot of people contacting us who are owners of it and saying the exact same thing. However, there is a very critical issue with these that make them super unreliable unless you get something done about it soon. And by the way, I'm talking about this with secondhand information. Please do your own research, but we do actually have an answer, a solution to this. So keep watching. So if you own a Ford Ranger, this could be good information for you. You probably already know this if you're in any online forums. The same situation happens. We headed to Leicester to get some sort of resolution to it. Here's what happened. So we're here with Connor in Leicester, and Leicestershire, Leicester? In Leicester, and he's the expert, he's the Ranger expert. Now, so many people have obviously said to us, don't get a Ranger, and you're probably correct with certain aspects of Ford Rangers. So for instance, everything before a 2016 model, probably you're gonna have, there might be some more situations. The 2016 onwards, isn't it? We were just discussing it. It's a 2016 onwards, 3.2 or 2.2 engine. It's all good, except for one major issue. What's that issue?
The oil pump.
The oil pump.
Yes.
So this is the 3.2.
2.2, yeah.
This is a 2.2, and these engines are in not just in Rangers but in other vehicles as well. And we've actually experienced this ourselves. Anyone who follows the channel, the oil pump. So you could be driving this thing along, and the red light comes on, the warning light comes on, and if you do not pull over straight away and turn the engine off, you are going to get oil splattered all over the engine, and it's going to destroy your engine. You're going to need a new one. That very problem cost us £11,000 in the past, and it's a right stinger. This guy in Leicester is, if you've got a Ford Ranger, come and see him, because he's got an answer, what's the word?
Solution.
He's got a solution to it before it happens to you. So what is it like specifically?
It's the pump internals just shred and wear down. We fit a geared pump, which is a constant pressure pump. It's just better for the engine. Everything else runs okay.
Nice. And I think he's put that in layman terms, but I still don't quite understand it. So basically, yeah, the oil pump goes, explodes everywhere, and then he puts in a geared pump that basically stops that. What's really interesting about that is that Ford don't acknowledge it, that there's a problem, do they?
No.
So, like, it's such a strange one, and I get that. It doesn't look good on Ford. However, this is the man you want to come to. So if you've got a Ford Ranger or you're going to buy a Ford Ranger, come and see Connor. I'll leave a link to his website and a few details to him in the description of this video. Cheers, mate.
Last one.
Really appreciate it.
Hey, Liam and Janine. It looks like you could easily get trapped inside. Is it safe?
Okay, so another question that we've actually had quite a lot, and it is a major concern, and it's about the tailgate. And as you can see, if the tailgate's up, you can't open the door.
You're going to be
which
trapped
means
in there.
if we're
Be
inside,
careful.
we're locked
Trapped.
in. And that completely freaked me out when I first thought of it. However, there's absolutely nothing to worry about, because we actually have a lock that prevents it from happening. So it's all good.
Keeping our information secure whilst we're traveling is of utmost importance to us. That is why we make sure that we've got Surfshark VPN on all of our devices. If you don't know what VPN is, it's a virtual private network. And what Surfshark does is it establishes a secure connection between you and the internet, making it safe from any online invaders, hackers, anyone trying to steal your information. It's as simple as downloading an app onto your device. And another bonus about Surfshark is that you can stream Netflix or any other streaming service from a different country that you're in. As you know, there's often firewalls set up so that if you're in another country, on holiday, traveling, whatever, you can't access the content from your country. Well, with Surfshark you can. All you do is just toggle through the list of countries and choose a country that you wish to tell the internet that you're in, even though you're not. Another really big benefit about doing that as well is that by switching to another country that you're not in, but you're telling Surfshark that you are in, or the internet that you're in, you can actually access cheaper travel tickets, including ferries and planes. It's a great travel hack. Make sure you use it. Another great thing about Surfshark is they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, and right now they are offering unbeatable prices on Surfshark memberships, plus extra 4 months for free by clicking the link in the description or going to surfshark.com/happy days. Now back to the video.
Why did you buy the Gladiator? Apart from the fact that it is a beast of a vehicle.
Okay, we've just pulled up at Walton Hall. Actually, it's open to the public, and we come here because they've got a gym and a sauna and a steam room. And if you use the Hustle app, the Hustle gym app, which helps you find sort of day passes for gyms all over the country, it's great for Vanlife. We've used it before. Then you can find it on there, and you can get like cheap day passes and all that sort of business. So we come up here quite a bit, and we're loitering around this area because we're getting lots of Amazon parcels sent somewhere, and we're for the trip, so we're the Lapland trip that we're preparing for. So this is a beautiful location anyway, and I'm going to answer some more of your questions and concerns about this camper truck that you see behind me. So one of the major ones is why have we gone from living in a camper van to living in a demountable? These are called demountables or slide-on trucks. They go by lots of different names. So we have had camper vans and lived in camper vans for the whole almost 4 years or 3.5 years plus of doing van life. But this is a new thing for us, and we used to go by the philosophy of trying to find something that we could live in forever. But now we're going by the philosophy of something that's going to be appropriate for the adventures ahead. So as you know, we're off to Lapland. We know that the temperatures could go up to -20, -30. I think it's even been known to go to -40 in some parts of northern Finland. So this truck here, one of the major reasons, is a all-seasons camper truck. We've never owned an all-seasons camper truck before. We've never owned an all-seasons camper van before. So it's nice to know that we can trust this thing behind us. It's got very, very thick insulation, which is good for hot climates and very, very cold climates as well. Demountables themselves are actually known for leaking. They are a concept that comes from America and Canada, or at least popular over there and in Australia and stuff as well. A lot of them are joined together with timber and all the rest of it. This one's seamless. So that's one of the other reasons why we got it as well. It's also mounted to a 4x4 truck, which has all of its advantages that I probably don't need to go over with you right now. And it's fun as well. So for all those reasons, that's the reason why we got this. It really, really screamed out to us. It might not be for everyone, but for what we've got planned for the next few years, I think it's going to be pretty damn good.
You have a gas bottle on the outside of the vehicle. Will that not freeze in the Arctic?
Before we get on to another one of your major, major concerns, this has been a regular question that we've seen in the comment section. This is a gas flow propane tank, and all it does is provides gas for the one ring hob inside the camper. It's only got a one ring hob because this is an expedition model. This is not the one that we're going to get. So this is on loan to us until we get our one sent through in a couple of months in January, I believe. And our one's a lot bigger and has two ring hob. This is just a one ring hob, so it provides that. So this gas in here will last for ages. But one of your major concerns is, will it freeze up? For anyone who knows, propane freezes at a very, very low temperature. We're talking like -42. So I contacted the gas flow people, the people who provide these are refillable gas bottles that you've seen a lot of camper vans and motorhomes these days. And they said that we don't need to worry about it, because I was thinking as an extra measure, should I put like an insulation sleeve around it? I still might, but they said you probably don't need to bother with the temperatures we're going to. If it goes to -42, it will freeze and we just won't be able to use it. But anything before that, we should be all right. And we are not we're hoping that it's not going to go past -30 maximum, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll take a backup just in case, but this should be absolutely fine.
The diesel will freeze and you won't be able to use the diesel heater. This could be a disaster.
Okay, so this is the diesel heater, and if you know about diesel, which I've only just learned, diesel freezes at a different temperature in England as it does in Scandinavia. And the reason for that is the Scandinavian diesel, they have something put in it that allows it to last to much lower temperatures. And at the moment we've obviously got British diesel in here, but as soon as we get over there we're going to start using their diesel, and it will allow us to be able to use our diesel heater in those freezing temperatures. Talking of being cold, we're about to go and warm up in the gym.
Potential problem, guys. There is no walkway to the front.
Probably the biggest concern from the comments and what have you is that this camper truck doesn't have a walkway into the main cab area, and it was almost a deal breaker for us as well. We totally get it. However, it is a demountable thing. You don't get many that have walkways through it. Some do, but this one doesn't. The water tanks are actually in here. And yeah, as I said, it was almost a deal breaker because every camper van that we've ever had has had it where you can get through to the front seats easily. But then I looked online, and there's huge forums online for people who own demountables, and it's not really a problem when you read them. It's something that's a fear if you've never done it before, but when you do it, it's not really something that you have to worry about. But I totally understand it because it was one of my sort of concerns as well. It's not anymore. And also as well, when we put out our first video showing this, we were contacted by people who own demountables, which is the best, to hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were. And they said that, one person was a solo female demountable van lifer, had something like this, and has been traveling for like 15 years in Europe, the USA and Canada, and as a solo female van lifer, and has never had any problems whatsoever, and has never heard of anyone having any problems whatsoever. And we've had other messages from saying the exact same thing. So whilst we aren't saying it's untouchable, because nothing is and nothing's going to happen, we're not saying that. We're just, because you've always got to be aware with van life. Same if you had a home with, potentially people breaking in and all that sort of business. It's just about being aware, and it's not, for now, like, we've got so many more pros than the cons for us, so we're happy with it.
Mushrooms.
They're in there somewhere, monkey.
It's really good.
With lemon and salt and parsley, it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting cold. It's definitely getting colder.
Yeah.
Today I've noticed it's getting colder, and that's in the UK as well. God knows what it's like in Scandinavia. I think from what I hear, maybe what I've seen somewhere, that they're already blanketed in snow.
Janine is not too keen on the cold. How does she feel about going to Scandinavia in winter?
Okay, cool. That food was absolutely delicious, and it was our first meal in the van, and it went really well actually. It's only got one ring hob, but we managed to do a one pot dish, and it worked really well. So anyway, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, we've been asked a lot, isn't Janine going to be cold when she goes to Scandinavia? Obviously, I don't like the cold. I'm here in mild conditions and I'm wearing a hat and my jacket. Yeah, I feel the cold a lot, and I probably will be cold when we go there. I'm obviously taking all of the sort of sensible clothing and doing the three layer thing that they advise you to do. So a base layer, a jumper, a jacket, and then all the other things like hats and gloves and stuff. So yeah, but I will be cold. I'm not sure how it's going to be. Apparently the cold out there is different to what it's like in England, because England, it's got sort of humidity or like water in the air, whereas that's like dry cold over there in Scandinavia. Apparently, I've never felt this before, and it's going to be really interesting. I'm dead excited. I'm just going to wrap up warm.
Cool, now time to go and get something very exciting that will hopefully transform the way that we do van life forever. Okay, inside here is the thing that is going to, well, to be honest with you, everyone seems to be getting these, and we've held off getting them. One, partly because of the size. Two, because we haven't been in a stable vehicle. Now we've got a stable vehicle. Three, the most important one is they're bloody expensive. But we've crumbled because of the location that we're going to. This will keep us safe as well as connected. Can you guess what it is? Ooh. Ooh. This really sort of very sort of boring looking thing. It just looks like a flipping notepad. Is a mini Starlink. So yeah, if you don't know what these are, then it's basically it's like a little mini satellite receiver for Wi-Fi, really fast Wi-Fi wherever you are in the world. These things seem to be taking over quite a bit. We think that it's going to keep us very, very safe and connected whilst we're out in the middle of nowhere in icy regions and stuff like that. So we're very, very pleased with it. We're going to sit it just on the dash here. And then we are going to, yeah, and that's where it's going to sit. So I'm just, yeah, not looking forward to setting it up, but we'll see how that goes. Very high speed internet.
This sounds like a mega trip. What route are you taking?
We have just arrived in Tesco's, and that's where we're going to be spending the night tonight. I just wanted to answer another question which has been asked by a few people, and that's what route are we going to go to Lapland? And there are two main routes that you can do. One is through sort of Lithuania, Estonia, up through Finland and into Lapland. The other one is through Scandinavia, so you go in through Norway and up Sweden. And that's the one we've chosen because we've heard that the other route can get a bit complicated. So we've chosen the Swedish route, and there are two roads that you can head north on. One of them apparently gets quite icy, and that's called the E5. The other one is the E6. That doesn't get as icy because it doesn't have like the salt air melting the snow and turn into ice. So the other one, the E6, is more inland, and that's the one that I think at the moment that's what we're choosing.
If the cold doesn't kill you, the wolves will. Be careful.
Another question that's been asked to us is, are you worried about the wildlife out there? And I mean, yes, of course. There are three animals that I'm the most afraid of. And one of them being wolves. They freak me out. And I really don't want to come across one, but I don't think we will. I think they hang out in like forests at night, and I'm not going to be in a forest at night. That's the first one. The second one is bears, black bears. And yeah, of course, they're really scary. I think when we go over there, we're going to speak to the locals and just get an idea of what's going on with those two animals, get a lowdown basically, and do as the locals do. So there's those two. The actual third animal is less scary, but actually is probably more dangerous, and that's the elk, which is like a moose. And they're scary because at dawn they're out quite a lot. There's loads of them. We're probably guaranteed to see one, maybe loads, I have no idea. And they could be quite dangerous when we're driving, either at dusk or dawn. They could be out on the roads, they could run, and I don't know. We've just got to take it so easy on the roads because I really don't want to be hitting one. So that's the animal that we're going to be most cautious about. Apart from that, I think they're the three main animals, and yeah, it would be absolutely incredible to see any of them from the safety of our car.
Liam is way too big for the truck. How will he even fit?
Oh, back in Tesco's car park, as you do. So, one of the major concerns that people have had is that I am too big for this camper truck. So firstly, the bed was an issue. Widthways, I can't fit in the bed. Lengthways, it's the largest bed that we've ever had in a camper van, and maybe ever in any home ever. So when it comes out to a Super King, it's fantastic. I've got space all around me in every direction, so much space. So we're getting the best night's sleep in here. But you may have noticed that I crunch down and I have to bend my knees a little bit here. This isn't big enough for me. This isn't tall enough. This is why that isn't a problem is because this is a loan camper truck. If you've been following the story, the company have loaned us this until our one gets delivered to us in like 2 months' time. And our one, which is very similar, is called the Style, and it's higher. So I think it's just over 6'2", so I can stand in that one straight. But this one, I'm just going to have to deal with for the next couple of months. But when we get ours through, it's high enough. This one's an Expedition model. We have to remember that this is an Expedition model, which is why it's got one ring burner and why it's quite snug. But our one's going to be quite significantly bigger with more storage and what have you. And that brings on to another thing. Last time you saw us, we removed the fridge from here that was just down on the floor here. We got rid of the fridge. It means we've got so much more space in here. It was the best move we ever made. I said we don't really need a fridge. However, we didn't take into account that in the Ranger, the Ford Ranger below, it's not being heated whilst we're up here. So we're going to be in like -20 conditions. That means that any food that's left in the Ranger will potentially freeze, even though it's in packaging, in a box and what have you. So we are actually going to get a really awesome cool box fridge freezer thing. You wait till you see it. I'll explain it in the next video. But it's going to be really, really good and perfect for our needs. So that means we're not going to have any loose food out in the Ranger downstairs. And it means we don't have to have a fridge in here. And everything's really good. It's the perfect setup for us. So it's all an adventure. It's all an expedition. And that's just what it is. And that's why we're so excited about it. Okay, I think that's the majority of the concerns and questions that we've had over the last few weeks, and I hope we've answered them all. It's only natural to be concerned for us, and thank you for doing that. We do appreciate it. There are no stupid questions. We are very, very grateful for all of the concerns that people have, and it's only natural for people to be questioning this thing because it's so unusual for the UK, and we get that totally. One of the major worries that people have for us is, are we prepared for what's about to come to go to Scandinavia and what have you? Well, I honestly don't think that we are, because unless you have been there and done it, you don't really know what you're up against. Janine and I have never been to Scandinavia before. We've barely done any minuses. This is going to be really, really interesting, let alone in a camper truck as well. And we're just super excited about it. We think we've got the basics covered, and the ones that keep you alive, we think you got that covered. And next time we see you, we are going to be testing this out in sort of long term to see if the current electrical setup and off-grid setup is going to be enough for complete darkness, only 3 hours of daylight per day. So that's going to be really interesting. Plus we're going to show you how we're winterizing the vehicle as well, ready for -20, -30, maybe -30. Let's hope not -30, but even -20 is crazy. And we're just, as I said, we're just really excited. Thank you for watching this Q&A. We're back to vlogs next week, and we're heading hopefully towards Scandinavia for the very first time. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see how we get on. Thank you.
Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do.